Okay, y'all, so they're claiming that Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez were involved in some sort of incident. And apparently Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion once in the foot, I believe. This is what the story says, okay? I saw this on, I think it was Academics page. Academics, the DJ, you know, he's known for giving Tekashi 6ix9ine a lot of play and stuff like that. But anyway, I saw this on his page, and when I read it, I was immediately like blown away by how goofy it sounds. You know, like, the story sounds goofy as fuck. The story sounds goofy, y'all. Like, it just sounds goofy. Okay, so I'm gonna paraphrase here, but allegedly they were in some sort of vehicle. There was some sort of altercation that took place. They're not specifying exactly who. They're very vague on exactly who that altercation took place between. Was it Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion? Was it Tory Lanez and some other individual that was in the car? Was it Megan Thee Stallion and some other individual that was in the car? Like, who was the altercation between? Like, who did it involve? You know what I mean? Like, what was the altercation about? Anyway, an altercation allegedly took place in the car. Megan Thee Stallion attempted to leave, and as she attempted to leave, Tory Lanez shot her in the foot. Okay. Now, the story can be interpreted many different ways. Okay. If you're looking at the paragraph, if you're looking at the story and you're just reading it specifically, then you might jump to conclusions and basically assume that, oh, maybe they were dating, Tory got upset, Megan got upset, she attempted to leave, he didn't want her to leave, so he shot her in the foot. Pow. You know, that's one theory, right? Like, that's one version or one possibility of what could have taken place in the vehicle, right? On the other hand, if you're somebody who's analytical, you don't always take the first story. You want to kind of dissect it and maybe do your own investigation. You might read that story a little bit differently, okay? You might go in there and analyze it and kind of process all the details or lack of details, okay, and then make your own judgment, right? And so an alternative to that story could be, well, they were inside the vehicle. Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez were accompanied by some other individual or individuals, okay? There was a disagreement between Megan Thee Stallion and maybe somebody else in the car. Perhaps there was a disagreement between Tory Lanez and somebody else in the car, okay? Guns were drawn. Megan Thee Stallion said, wait a minute, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm a big star, I'm coming up right now. I just did a collaboration with Beyonce. We went #1. Okay, I have a new song out on the radio right now. It's called Girls in the Hood, and it's got an NWA remix on it. It's legit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm up and coming right now, so let me out of this car. I don't need this scandal. You know what I mean? She gets out of the car, she attempts to leave, but by the time she attempts to make her departure, the guns are already banging because the altercation in the car is so strong, right? Well, it just so happens that Megan Thee Stallion gets caught in the crossfire and she suffers a gunshot wound to the foot. And then Tory Lanez says, oops, my bad, I didn't mean to shoot you, Megan, but this dude over here got out of hand, or this broad over here got out of hand, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Okay, but you got to be crazy to think that a Tory Lanez who's up and coming, like, his career is on a trajectory, okay? Same for Megan Thee Stallion. A Megan Thee Stallion career is on a trajectory, right? That they're going to involve themselves in some sort of stupid altercation like that, especially with each other. So what are you saying? Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion are the new Chris Brown and Rihanna? But instead of Tory putting the paws on her, he pulled out the pistol? Come on now. I'm just saying, the story doesn't make sense. It sounds like a bunch of baloney. If this is a PR stunt, I call foul. Like, it's horrible. You guys could have chosen something else, because I don't believe it. And I'm a thinker, okay? I analyze stuff when you put it in front of me, okay? Like Bobby Brown said in that song, believe none of what you read and only half of what you see. He didn't lie. Come on now. The story sounds too goofy. It's extremely vague. They're not even explaining or giving us any details in regards to what happened, who was involved, were there any other people in the car, like, was Kylie Jenner in there? You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, or if you guys can remember, they posted something online on social media. There was like a pool party or something like that, and Kylie Jenner and Tory Lanez were both there. Okay, Megan Thee Stallion even went live on her Instagram with Kylie Jenner. And it looked like they were all having fun. But then fast forward and they're saying that she was involved in a shooting. Like, come on now. It just doesn't sound right. If you want me to believe this, you need to provide some more details, okay? I don't care about how tall Tory Lanez is. Like, we don't care. You know what I mean? Like, give me some concrete evidence that this guy was actually involved in a shooting and that he indeed shot Megan Thee Stallion, because I do not believe it. I don't believe it. And so now you've got people trying to tarnish Tory Lanez's name and then turn him into some sort of womanizer or like some sort of abuser. You know, they're trying to Chris Brown Tory Lanez. You know? It just doesn't sound right. And I was thinking to myself, well, would Tory really subject himself to such a compromising situation? You know he's from Canada, right? Tory Lanez is not even from the States. This guy will be deported quickly and he needs the States to work his career. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would do it. I don't think he would be that stupid. Okay. You can't be Drake, or you can't even beat Drake if you're stuck in Canada, okay? But like I said, the story just sounds bizarre. You know, when I heard the story, I thought about, well, he shot her in the foot because she was trying to leave. You want to know what I immediately thought of? Kunta Kinte. Because it put me on some slave type stuff. Like, it sounded slavish. I'm telling you guys, when you read that black and white, when you read that print, when you read these stories, you have to read that stuff with one eye squinted. Apply everything that you learned in grade school, in high school, in college. Apply that stuff to everything that you're reading, all of these stories and stuff. Like, use your deductive reasoning skills and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, apply all that you know, all of your academic experience, your life experience. Like, apply that stuff to what you're reading. And if you do that, you will realize everything that I realized, okay? And so when I hear about a Megan Thee Stallion and a Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot because she was trying to leave, it sounds slavish. Like, it sounds like something, like a story that was put out just to get a laugh or a kick or just to see how far they could push y'all. You know, like, everybody's upset about a lot of different stuff, okay? Like, if you're not upset at these white people, you're upset at these black people. They're mad at Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon gave an apology. We're going to talk about that later, okay? And now the black folks are mad at Tory Lanez. You see what I'm saying? Like, it just, like, the pendulum swings, I guess, and I'm okay with that. I get it. But you're not going to sit up here and pull the wool over my eyes and make me look stupid because I couldn't figure out what you're doing. You're playing with the people, okay? And so I got people in my comments, yeah, he shot her 3 times. It wasn't an accident. He's in jail. Boom, 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 boom. Get out of here. Really? You can be a sheep. That can't be me. It can't be me. Okay? And so when I read the part where Tory Lanez allegedly shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot because she was trying to leave, I immediately thought about some slave stuff. Like, I really did, like, because it sounded slavish to me and I was triggered. And I thought, isn't that what they did to Kunta Kinte when he tried to leave? Remember? Kunta Kinte left the plantation, okay? He attempted to free himself. They found this man, they caught him, they brought him back to the plantation, and they chopped off his foot. Call me crazy, but this is what it sounds like, right? But this time around, you've got 2 black people involved, okay? It's no different, though, because back in the day, in those slave days, they also had black people go out and catch the runaway slaves. Black people were helping those white people catch those runaway slaves. Y'all have seen Django. And I hate that movie. I hate Django. I saw it one time in the movie theater and people got up and walked out. There were white people getting up and walking out on that film. They couldn't take it. Like, they got up and walked out. And I was this close to walking out. This close to walking out. I stayed and I endured that simply because I like Quentin Tarantino's work. I like Pulp Fiction. I like Jackie Brown. You know what I mean? Like, I like all of this stuff. But when you watch Django Unchained, you're either going to be triggered and it's going to remove you from the situation and you're going to flee the scene, you don't want to be there, you don't want to watch the movie, or you're going to sit there and get a refresher course in everything that has happened to your ancestors, what your history is all about, what you represent to the community these days. Like, all of that stuff is what you can take away from a film like Django, right? And so that film itself reflected on the whole idea of your black slaves, or the superior black slaves who had worked themselves up in the ranks, were actually out there wrangling and catching those runaway slaves and bringing them back to the master. Yeah, bringing them back to the plantation. And so that's what that Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion story did for me. Okay? It sounds like some slave stuff. Now, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. If I made a poor connection on that one, forgive me. That's where my mind went, okay? Shout out to my white people, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not hating on y'all, like, we got love for y'all, but I'm just saying, like, this is what the story sounds like. And anybody black who's offended, forgive me, but this is what the story sounds like, okay? We're going to follow this story, though. It's still developing. I want to know what other details they're going to come out with. I hope to God that they don't try to Chris Brown Tory Lanez. I do not listen to Tory Lanez. I don't know his music. I don't know one song by Tory Lanez. I think, well, do I? Yeah. I don't know any of Tory Lanez's stuff. I don't know his stuff, okay? But I hope they're not going to Chris Brown him, because as much as we love Chris Brown, they did take something away from that man. Like, it hurt his career. You know, Chris Brown was a household name. Chris Brown was in our households every day, Juicy Fruit commercials and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so, that's no more. We only get Chris Brown in our music videos, and then the award shows don't even support him and respect him the way that they used to. Although Chris Brown has continued to put out endless amounts of hit records, platinum selling music, noteworthy type of performances and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's a beast. I call Chris Brown the next Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, and so I hope they're not trying to do Tory Lanez the same way. And I also hope that this story is not true, because it doesn't sound true. Like I said before, it sounds goofy as